The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by Big D's Tack and Vet Supply, Cool Winds Farm, Midland Acres, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, and thestable.ca. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Look at the TV monitors.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to County Fair Racing from Caldwell, Ohio, and racing from the Noble County Fairgrounds. Hello again, I'm Frank Froz, along with Don Tiger, and tonight we have 7 races in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit as we get a little cloudy just recently moving in. It was sunshiny when I got here about 3:30, but the clouds have started to move in. We did have one quick rain shower, and Don, hopefully the weather stays away, but, you know, this is an old-style track.
Yeah, every fair we go to is a little bit different. This is my first journey on this circuit for this season, and it looks like a big sweeping oval here. A little bit of dust on the track, a little bit of water would definitely not hurt us. Looks like we score 5 across here. We got 2 trailers in any race with 7 horses, so but no precipitation, ideal temperatures here tonight, so it should be a great night for 7 races to get in here.
What little bit of breeze is blowing in the faces of the horses coming in front of the grandstand. Was talking to one of the drivers earlier, said that first turn, though, is a little bit tight. Said it's not as sweeping as it looks. You got a kind of quick left turn into it. So, but, you know, other than that, the track looks to be in great shape.
Yeah, very nice shape. And, again, the circumference is rounded oval. The turns might be a little tight, but, for example, the backstretch here, we've got a good degree of separation from the grandstand, so that's the kind of oval that you want. The first turn might be tight, but overall this looks like a nice little track here in Caldwell. Well,
if we don't like horse racing, we can play a little high school football. We got a little high school baseball down there. I think there's a softball diamond at the far end as well, too, so we could have a lot of fun. So, but first, let's learn a little bit more about the Noble County Fair.
Located in southeastern Ohio, Noble is the youngest and one of the smallest counties in the entire state. Formed from parts of surrounding areas, Noble was officially founded in 1851. Just 1 year later, the annual Noble County Fair would begin. It quickly became one of the most attended events in the area. There were 2 big attractions in the early years of the Noble County Fair. Hot air balloons were popular when the fair was still held in Sarahsville. Records show that races were held and parachuters would leap from the flying balloons. Animals such as dogs and monkeys would also take the occasional ride. Harness racing was the other main attraction. Originally, the competing horses had to be owned by local residents to be eligible. The track was only 1/4 mile long, and horses had to complete the mile in under 4 minutes. The first grandstand was finally constructed in 1922 when the present fairgrounds was purchased. Today, the Noble County Fair in Caldwell is a member of the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. They host 2 evenings of live-action harness racing.
They're often racing in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. Catch the excitement of Ohio harness racing at one of the county fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. For over 150 years, people have gathered at county fairs to cheer on their favorite racehorses. Keep the tradition alive. Visit one of the 10 fairs in the Southern Valley Colt Circuit this summer. Horses, racing, and winning. It's the Southern Valley Colt Circuit. 10 great fairs in southeastern Ohio.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
Thank you.
Welcome
Huge
back to
windows are
Caldwell,
open.
Ohio,
Have
as
your
we
money
get
numbers
set
ready.
for the
Wager
first
away.
race today.
Wager
We do
right
have
now.
some
We'll go every
changes
15
in the
minutes.
first race. The number 4, John Ryan Melsheimer, will drive Jamaica Jan, and the number 7, Barney Dillon, will drive Irish Lacey. Again, that's John Ryan Melsheimer on Jamaica Jan, and Barney Dillon will drive Irish Lacey as we get a little bit of rain, and hopefully just enough to settle the dust a little bit on the track. Other changes in the fifth race. The number 1, Deer Run Billy, will be driven by Alex Hawk. That's Alex Hawk will drive Deer Run Billy. And in the 6th, nope, that's it. That's the last changes we have. So just a couple of driver changes today. There were no scratches. Very light field in a couple of these races, especially the 6th and the 7th, Don. When the 6th race, just 3 2-year-old fillies going for a purse of $9,341.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago at Delaware. I remember the standard bred only had like 10 or 12 horses nominated, and they went with a 3-horse field. I believe Down by the Seaside was actually in that race and won the standard bred that year. So it gives these connections of these 3 horses to go here for a nice $9,300. And the horse from the rail looks really nice, which is the Lionel Wataker, Derry Wataker, driven and trained. This horse we saw score at Zanesville, and followed that up with a nice stepping offer, or what is that, Woodsfield? Won at Woodsfield too. So looks to be making it 3 in a row today from the rail. Looks like that horse is going to be very tough in that spot.
Like I said before, I could train one and pick up a check in a field like that. So
yeah, you'd have to do is get to the gate, and you could run 4th and get 8%. So not a bad payday at all. But we like you right where you're at, Frank.
I like right where I am.
Yeah,
it's funny. These animals, can be so gentle, but they're intimidating when you're not around them every single day. I walk in there and I am very cautious of them. You don't want to spook any of them, but you go to some of them and they're like your pet at home. You could pet them; they like it. They like to be.
You always like barn stories, so here's a good barn story. Charlie May likes to bite people on the rear end. That's what he does. So occasionally I'll get a call from a new groom, or when I send him out east, Jody Rydell was working with him, and she called me one day and she goes, "You're never going to believe it. Little Charlie bit me right on the butt." And I'm like, that's Charlie. He likes you. So the rain's starting to come down a little heavier here now at Caldwell. I imagine we're going to have a slight delay. We've got a metal grandstand, and it sounds like the world is ending right now, but a quick little shower. It's going to certainly take the dust off the track now, as we've got a good downpour going on.
The best part about it, though, is we are undercover.
We are dry. Yes, we're in a good spot.
As the rain comes down now, you can see it.
That's a flash rain because it looks like it slowed up quickly, too. So that is actually picture perfect for the racetrack. For the fans out there, when you get a track here where you're running at a fair track that doesn't have a normal crew that's constantly massaging it, these tracks tend to get a little bit of dusty, and the best kind of solution to them is get a little water on it. It tightens the track up, and then even if we have a grader come out, it'll make it nice and silky smooth, a little bit of footing for the horses. And so right now we're still in good shape of having a good track. It all depends what the happens in the weather in the next 10, 15 minutes.
Well, they were hoping to post parade for the first race at 5 minutes to 5, but we have not heard why the delay. I am looking around and I do not see an ambulance on the ground, so that could possibly be the reason for our slight delay. It was kind of funny. I was talking to a friend of mine who's from down in this area, and he says, "Where are you off to today?" I said, "I'm going to Noble County." He goes, "I know where that is." He says, "Head south on 77, exit 25, make a left, and you're there." I was like, wow, the fact that you knew exactly where to go.
He knew exactly where to go, for sure. Nice to see Mr. Conrad is in the house. Brad Conrad, who does a lot of the photos over here in Ohio at Scioto Downs in Dayton. He's here today taking photos, so we got a nice crew here. Got a nice crowd, too, here for the local fair. And we're not even officially open, I don't think, today. So I think we got
Thanks,
a good 50 to 80 people in the grandstands. So a lot of people coming out here a lot of familiar faces, too, that seem to be following us around from circuit to circuit. So it's a nice crowd, and we got a nice, good 7 races here today. Hopefully we'll be able to get them off at some point. The rain continues to fall, but as Frank said, we're nice and dry, and we're just waiting to see what unfolds here shortly.
Saturday night, the OHHA sponsored its 9th annual charity night at Scioto Downs. We had 20 charities come in. We had 2 races. Each charity got a horse. We did a live draw on Facebook, so we had Roger with the pills, and Ashley Daly was pulling the charity. So we matched them up, and one of the people there that worked harder than anybody else was Brad Conrad.
Yeah.
He was taking pictures in the winner's circle. Then we had him down at the paddock because every charity got a chance to go and meet their horse.
That's
took
great.
their picture there, then took their picture of the winners, took each charity's
Did we have
picture.
full fields, too?
We had
No scratches?
Full 10, no
Perfect,
scratches.
because I know that was something we discussed. So.
Which it worried you, and I mean, we had really good racing. Everybody was excited. The 2 big winners were the Arthritis Foundation and the American Red Cross, and the gentleman from the American Red Cross, I don't know his name, they have been there, I think, 6 or 7 years in a row and have finished dead last each race. So when they won, he was the happiest guy in the place. He was so happy that they had finally won, and it was a great night. We had they had all the charities that came out had dinner served. We had the paddock tours, had starting gate rides, and and the big thing was we generated new fans.
Yes.
People that had never been to the horse races were able to go out and really enjoy it. Every group got a host that helped them understand what was going on, and so it was definitely fun.
I love to hear that. Now, I don't know what's happening with the driver's school. Do they still do the driver's school?
I don't think they've done that recently.
Okay, so I am a pupil from that driver's school. And it was funny because when I went to the driver's school, I was probably one of the more prominent people because obviously I had owned horses already. I had a couple good horses. I was a recognizable name. And I don't know if I really had aspirations to be a driver, but and we had people 80 years old and 12 years old. In fact, one of the guys in my class was Cato Young, who used to work for Steve Carter. And Cato did become a driver, drove on this circuit. He's still in the horse business working. Just a great kid. But the reason I mention this is because anybody out there listening that when that program does come back, because I think it will, I think maybe COVID might have derailed it for a couple years, go do it. Doesn't matter if you want to be a driver. It was the best week I ever had in horse racing because we ate, breathed, slept, harness racing. You got to go to the barn in the morning. It was hands-on. You did paddock tours, got to ride in the starting gate, go up to Big Barry and voice on the roof and watch a race call, talk to the drivers. We had guest speakers coming in from attorneys like Joe Feraldo, George Teague, accomplished trainers. Just was a fantastic week, and it was really for fans just to get up close and personal.
And a lot of these people had never even been around a horse. It was, like one of the groups I was the host to was Warrior Bags. I told you the story before. They finished second. They work. They send out bags to help people going through chemotherapy to help make their life a little bit easier. So we were able to get them in, and we took them back to the paddock, and they got to meet their horse. It was Doge Gizmo, and I'll tell you a lot of the little connections, but Todd Luther, Todd was there, so I said, Todd, come over here, and I introduced him to the three women that was represented Warrior Bags, and it was nice. He saw horses 15-1 long shot on the morning line. He's like, been racing really well. Hey, let's hope so. But the interesting thing with Warrior Bags was they did a little research on their own. They looked up Doge Gizmo, and there was a lot of karma going on there. The one woman was from Indiana. It was an Indiana bred. Doge Gizmo was foaled in July of, I think it was 17. That was the year she found, or the month she found out she was cancer-free. Was number 7, Pink Saddle Pad. One of the women there, her mother passed away from breast cancer. It was also the 4th anniversary of when the charity started, that day. So there was a lot of good mojo going on.
Very good mojo.
And
now, did we just pay out to the winner?
Nope. It was $10,000 to the winner.
So they still got $5,000 for their charity.
5 for second, $2,500 for third, and everybody else got $2,500.
That's awesome.
And the funny story is that when we sent out the information, we actually had the wrong amounts they were racing for. So they came thinking they were racing for 5. So when it was all said and done, she said, you know what? We came here hoping to get 5. We did. We're ecstatic. But when I told her, I texted her and I said, he's a bit of a long shot. Her line, and it was a drop the mic line, was, sometimes it's a long shot when you're fighting cancer. We like long shots. I was like, wow, what a line. So,
amen to that.
And it was a great time. So, well, the rain continues to fall. And, Chris, get a zoom in on the track if you can, which looked really
we officially
good
have gotten
here.
Too much rain for the dust. So we've definitely got a sloppy surface now. We're starting to puddle into the football field in the infield of the racetrack here. I'm sure with some scraping, if it stops, would still be pretty good. But I think we will be racing under sloppy or at least good conditions tonight. The rain continues to fall here pretty heavily. And from the looks in the mountains in the backdrop, it looks like we're not going to be stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, it looks like it's all of a sudden grayed over. So let's talk about Charlie May. You're here.
Yep.
Big night Sunday. The ambulance is here, so we'll now see if they bring them out to parade them. But big night Sunday coming up, Ohio Sire Stakes. So what is the week like this week for Charlie May?
He goes to the massage therapist, chiropractor tomorrow. See, that's what you get when you move yourself to upper echelons. 3 guys sitting here. We're going to go home with bad backs tonight, you know. But that's the story. He does have his own chiropractor. Bella Vista Equine takes care of him. So he's going to go there tomorrow for a spa day. He'll probably rest and relax on Wednesday. He'll go a trip on Thursday just to tighten the screws down a little bit, and then, jog into Friday, Saturday, and race Sunday. But these horses, all of them have been very active at the box, and he's ready to go. I expect a big effort. Draw comes out tomorrow. Northfield's always tricky, but what a great night. 8 championship races. The spotlight is on Ohio. Sunday night, I don't believe we're competing with any other circuits really at that time. All eyes will be on Cleveland and Northfield Park. We got 8 $300,000 races, different divisions and sects, and I'm just really looking forward to the night. We got winning ticket, undefeated this year. We've got some really nice fillies. Those 2-year-old fillies I got to be honest, I think the fillies might be a little bit better than the boys this year, and we got some really nice boys. Gulf Shores is an exceptional animal. Danny's horse, he's a real Slingshot or something.
Slingshot, yep.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. One of the horses from the barn, Trey Cruz, he made the finals. My good friend Tim Fwaddle, his mare made the 2-year-old final. Always Be something. I know it's an Always Be Mickey. But what a great night of racing.
That 2-year-old Cold Pace, yeah, you got Slingshot, Gulf Shores, Trey Cruz, Terminator, all had one leg. Seaside Way is one a leg, so it's a
very nice
be a
group
tough
of horses.
one. Your other horse, Shane Falco, was 12th
Yep.
in the standing, so just missed.
Just
so
missed.
He
Yep.
qualifies for the
Constellations. Yep, down at Dayton, which we're excited about. He's kind of a slow developing horse, but I think he's going to be a better 3-year-old than a 2-year-old. And that's, again, for the listeners out there, these are animals. They're not, some of them take time to develop, like a fine wine or a quarterback.
They're like kids.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
He is the young, immature student, and he's going to get better with age. So we're real excited about his 3-year-old year. But he's already made $33,000 this year in 6 starts, I believe. So, and we've got probably 4 or 5 more before he'll go away for the winter. He'll go to Ryan Holton's. Shout out to my friend Ryan Holton. I hope you're doing well out there. Get well soon, buddy. I know that he's got a long road to recovery from his accident he had a month or so ago, but Ryan's doing good, and that's where I turned him out. I already told Ryan I want to make an appointment to see you. Shane and Charlie want to see you this winter, and he said he's looking forward to it. So I think it's going to help him too, get healthy and, be involved in any way he can. So.
Yeah, Ryan's gotten out to a couple of the county fairs during his recovery, which has been good. So Brendan Johnson also is on the road to recovery. He
Great.
had an accident earlier this year. He's been out jogging some horses, still has to wear his braces and his neck brace, but he's been out jogging. As it looks like now the rain has pretty much slowed up, almost stopped. A little bit of rain still coming down, but
yeah, very light. I think what we need, Frank, is I'm not a weatherman, but if it pushes from our backside here, I think we're okay. If it comes towards us, we might see some more rain. But great temperatures here today, though.
All of a sudden the temperature has dropped. It's very nice.
Yep. Very low humidity. Low wind, flagpole straight down. Did hear a rumble in the back, a little bit of thunder.
Yeah, it looks like this was just kind of a pop-up behind it. It looks pretty clear.
Perfect.
Hopefully it blows out of here and we'll be in good shape. As we get set to go, 7 races on the card tonight. We have a couple of divisions of the 2-year-old filly trot. We've got 2 divisions of 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace. We've got 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trot, 2 divisions for that, and a free-for-all.
I want to talk about the free-for-all for a minute. And here's the reason I do, because we're here for the stakes races. That's what this is. This is Southern Valley Circuit, and these trainers and drivers mainly come here to compete in that circuit. But you'll notice in just about every place we go, we got a free-for-all that comes on the end. And this is the heart and soul of grassroots Ohio racing. Because when you look at this 7th race free-for-all, we've only got a $1,000 pot up there for these guys. And each one of these horses have a story. So you start with Spectacular Rock. He was, I believe, the track record holder at Zanesville for a couple years. They've raced him on these circuits. you've got owner trainer Earl Owings owning this horse. He's out here for the fun of it. They have this horse in the Signature Series, which these purses aren't great, but they get qualified in the finals at Delaware, and usually goes for 10, 12, 14,000. So they're showcasing. But this horse could be racing every week at Scioto, Northfield, and they choose to go into a circuit like this. You can see his times extremely competitive. Mr. Owings is glad to have this horse out here. Then you get to the 2-horse, Relino Hanover. Kerry Henny owns this horse. 0 for 19 this year, 1 for 32, but is a 10-year-old horse, some beach somewhere. They keep racing him. They're glad to be out here. Jason McGinnis gets the call as a drive. Probably a lot for Jason's career to get him out here and have a chance to race.
Last time Relino Hanover won was back in January of 2020.
It's a long time between drinks, but it's nice to see that they keep going. And if you go way back on the horse, shows a mark 54-4 at Dover, 17 wins, $84,000 in the bank. Again, Kerry owns and trains this horse. And then the story that I know the most about is the 3-horse Hillbilly Fairy Tale. This is an old knocking class horse, same thing, 8 years old. I think I mentioned this at Zanesville. When you see this horse on the track, that's what a racehorse is supposed to look like. Very well put together, good conformation. But what they're doing here is young Lucas Myers, his uncle David Myers, this young man's cutting his teeth. He's picking up drives, and he's learning from the bottom up. He's only 17 years old, and this is kind of like his horse to learn how to be a driver. So you can see there's always a story, and we watched this horse race at Zanesville. Just a nice story. It's good to see Lucas driving. And as I tell you a lot of times when we're out here, I see the Sean Barkers, the Dustin Bothmans, who are the next generation. This young man's even behind them, but in 6, 7, 8 years, me and you are going to be doing a broadcast, and you're going to say, wow, look, Lucas Myers, you know.
I remember him when he won his first race and has a chance to today.
He does, yes.
So now we look down to the gate to our left. A lot of the horsemen out looking at the track. Somebody in the golf cart over at the Wokenberg starting gate. Probably have, I'm not sure if Mike's here or not tonight, but whoever's driving probably have them take a couple of trips around just to make sure it's safe for them driving. It's now delayed about 15 minutes.
The rain has stopped, though. I don't see anything in puddling. Yeah, it's moved on.
Don't forget, we've got racing also tonight coming from Mount Gilead, already underway there. Roger Houston has the call at Mount Gilead with Tom Pye. They got underway about 45 minutes ago. So a chance for you to pop in and pop out, check out what they're doing.
Important, if you haven't been to our new website, too, harnessracingohio.com.
Get it all important. Right there.
Yep. We've got archives of past events you can watch. You see what's upcoming. You have live events. We're still doing Facebook and things like that, but our new website is great, and please check it out. That's how I start to do my viewing when I'm at home and I'm not broadcasting. I go to harnessracingohio.com. Powers that be are over there with a golf cart walking around, a couple drivers. I think we're going to see where things are going. I do not see a grate or anything.
Well, all I know is this gentleman just walked onto the track and sunk up to his ankles in mud and almost fell over.
Yeah, that is not
That's not a good sign.
That is a terrible sign. Yeah. We definitely need to get this thing drug a little bit.
You know, a big powwow going on over in that far corner. I don't know if you can shoot that over there, Chris, of what's going on as they're discussing a few things. So you can see that big black cloud hanging over us, slowly moving away. can hear some more rumbles of thunder, though. We've been very fortunate this year. I think we've only had 3 or 4 race cards rained out all summer long, and we had some early on.
I'm not positive, but I believe the rules still are if they ever do race out a card like that, they take the purse and divide it by the entrance.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but they do everybody does get a check.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a great part about because not all states do that, but I believe in Ohio that's what we do. And that really helps because these guys have already spent the money to come over here, got Lasix from the vets, ship, warmed up if they pay a guy to warm up. You've already have costs incurred, so it's nice that if we can't go behind the gate and race, that we're still rewarding the horsemen.
So the gentleman that was out on the track just came up, and I saw, Chris, you said something to him. What did he say? Oh, it was.
He said he felt bad because he saw about 2 inches.
So we'll have to see what they do decide. They are up there talking as we speak. I think we got an announcement maybe coming now. Thought I heard the mic check on. Fans that were sitting in their car during the downpour now making their way in. Rest of our schedule this week, and we do have a busy one here on the OHHA. Tomorrow we have 3 fairs. Tom Pye and Jay Wolf will be at Mount Gilead. Don will come back here and do the solo at Caldwell, and then I will be joined by Susan Schroeder, and making his debut with us will be Brad Conrad. He said he wanted to hop on a little bit, so we're going to bring Brad on. Brad, come over here for a second. Do you have the stick mic?
That's fantastic.
This is what you call fill time and figure out how to do it. Come on over, Brad. Let's have a little talk. All right, let's see. There we go. First off, I just said tomorrow you're making your debut at the OHHA.
That sounds like that might be happening, yes.
Well, that should be fun. Now, how are you going to shoot pictures and be on the air with us?
Well, you're not usually on the air during the race, so I'll be able to just head on down there and do my deal and then come on up and enjoy the banter a little bit.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Now, you know, Don and I were talking about charity.
We're going to wait an hour.
All right, we're going to be under an hour delay, so we're going to talk to Brad for a few more minutes.
She's going to have trouble getting around.
Disappear, and then we'll come back
on.
on.
To the drivers to see what they think.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Brad for a whole hour.
Wait an hour.
Brad, I don't think, Brad, you could talk for an hour as tired as you and I were after Saturday night charity night.
I could sleep for several hours. I don't know about talking for an hour, but
well, you better get used to it for tomorrow.
I know. Be ready.
All right. Well,
I've been listening to some of the broadcasts over the last few weeks, and you know, when I'm not at the fair, you know, if I'm at home trying to do my work, I'll throw it up on the computer and listen to you guys do your thing.
The best part about these things is we want stories. We need stories.
Oh, man, I don't know.
So you got to have a good one, like maybe you fell in the mud, you know.
I've had my car stuck in the mud.
There you go. Almost got run over by a horse.
That's happened a few times.
We need some of those stories. So start thinking of those for tomorrow.
All right, that'll work.
All right,
You'll be there tomorrow too, right?
I'll be there tomorrow with Susan.
Okay.
Yep. So we're looking to having some fun. But for right now, we are in a delay until 6 o'clock. So we'll basically sign off and ask you to come back and join us at 6 o'clock. But if you want some harness racing, hop over to our Facebook page and you'll be able to catch racing from Mount Gilead with the voice, Roger Houston, and the harness guy, Tom Pye. We'll see you in about 45 minutes.
sign it off and we'll sign back on. Just tell Don, yeah, sign it off and we'll sign back on. So we don't need to keep just a picture up and post to Facebook right now.
When does the schedule finally lighten up, Brad? Like 2-3 weeks, right around Jug Week, or?
If I can get through this week, then it'll lighten up. Once Labor Day hits, I've got 3 fairs this week. But then the week after that, there's any that one. And then there's just one of them will run. Yeah. That they don't. So they kind of spread out.
Yeah, they start to get a little bit better. Who's the young lady that I see at Scioto? Is that someone new that you hired?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. This is Dustin. Dustin, what's happening? Not too much. They tell us over here we're delayed for an hour. Is that what they're telling you guys? Steve scratching? Yeah, okay, all right. I'll come back there then because we got a delay. I got that stuff with me. I got this overnight to give to you guys. So where are you guys at? You straight in that barn in the back? How do we get back here? Do you go down past McDonald's in the front?
Go there. Where's your park?
I parked over here.
Just go this way,
Right around.
all the way around. Yep.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, I got my white truck, so I'll be there in about 5 minutes. All right, buddy.